Hi, my name is Daniel Lafkas, and this is my portfolio presentation for my internship this summer in 2025. So a little bit more about me. I am a sophomore here at Purdue in the construction engineering and management. So originally I wanted to go for civil and I was going for FYE and I'm like, wait, this program is more me. This is what I want to do. I want to build buildings and I found this program and I decided that I want to be in this. So I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'm trying for my bachelor's degree right now. And so far I've completed one internship so far. So about my company, I worked for a company called Valcom Enterprises, and they're more of a general contractor construction management firm. Their headquarters are more in Wilder, Kentucky, in the greater Cincinnati area, and their types of projects worked more with commercial renovations, tenant build-outs, and restoration projects. And I was able to work with each member of the team, shadow them for a day, and do whatever. But I learned a real good amount from just talking to everyone there, and it was a great experience. So my role and responsibilities is I was a project engineering intern. And what I had to do was I did safety reports, estimating and quality takeoffs for materials and cost layout, site layout, and project planning. So a little bit more about safety reports. I did this for the beginning of my internship. I started going around to different job sites, doing this checklist, making sure all the all the problems and OSHA reports are completely up to standards. Like if people have like a fire extinguisher, they needed to have that. If the subs are wearing their PPE and other equipment, that make sure they're safe and all that stuff. So I was going to every job site looking for that on on a weekly basis. But the main thing I was working on is estimating quality takeoffs for materials and cost and site layout. So the big programs we use for that is called on-screen takeoff and QuickBid. So on-screen takeoff is a software that takes the measures, all the materials directly from a project and from a on a drawing, and you get to like trace them all using the program, and it counts all the area, the footage, whatever, and it automatically calculates the quantities such as square footage of like drywall, for example. So that was something I did. And then once I did all of that, we use QuickBid to estimate in bidding software that links directly with on-screen takeoff. And it builds like a directed cost estimate of the bid proposal. So that is something I got a little bit into, but not as much. But I wanted to learn more about that. So I was able to learn for like the last 3 weeks of the internship. I did that for multiple projects. But the main thing that I did over the summer was site layout. And you can look to my right and see that um, I was doing the site layout right now. That was me at MedVet. I was laying out the floor plans for all of it. And what I use is a thing called Hilti Layout Tool. And that Hilti Layout Tool uses a GPS system to coordinate where you are on the site and with the CAD layout drawings, you were able to pinpoint where walls were and where stuff should be and shouldn't be. And you were able to like trace that on the ground with the chalk, the red chalk that you could see in the picture. And that would like mark where like walls would be so they could start all the framing and stuff. So that was the main thing I did over the summer. But that healthy layout tool, I did that for like 2 or 3 months, and I got to get a hang of it. Like I want to need to be in like a 16th of an inch, and it was toughy on windy days because it could get knocked down and stuff. But that was only at MedVet. So, and project planning was also something I did, which is just talking and coordinating with subs, construction managers, and superintendents. So the main project that I told you about, or I'm going to tell you about, is the Gwen project building. And this is the project I was on for 3 or 4 months doing layout. So this was located downtown Cincinnati, Ohio, on 6th and Main Street. And the project's purpose was to restore this mall, this like old mall in downtown area, and make it this nice high-rise apartment system. And Falcom's role in this was the general contractor, managing layout, demolition, and reconstruction phases. So I was more with the layout part of that role. So if you look to my right, you can see the Hilti layout tool, and that was like on the second floor where there was completely they just put down the concrete. So I was laying out all of that, and you could see that I was starting to do that right there. And from the outside, that is the side picture of the Gwyn building, which is about 14 stories tall. And I had to do every floor going up from the first all the way up to the 14th floor. So what I learned from all this is Reading and interpretation of construction drawings and CAD layout, that was a big one. That's something I learned a lot about. And I was able to talk to someone that did it for like years, and he thought that I was getting the hang of it after like 2 or 3 weeks. So it wasn't hard to do. It's just you need to know what you're doing. You need to know what the CAD drawings say. You need to know when what things should be there, what things shouldn't be there. And you got to be pretty precise on how like you do it, like 1/16 of an inch. OSHA safety standards is something big. Like I got my OSHA 30 over the course of this internship, whereas I was only required to get OSHA 10 by Purdue. But OSHA 30 was something that my company gave me, which was something I definitely I'm going to take as a benefit from coming out of that too. Estimating and quality takeoffs, I started doing that, like I said. I didn't get much into it, but just learning for a couple of weeks of how to do it and just shadowing people that have done it is something I really wanted to learn going forward. And I also learned about scheduling, coordination, and safety. So yeah, this is the healthy layout tool right here. And this internship, like as a whole, taught me what construction engineering is really like outside of the classroom. And I saw how different roles from the field crew to the project managers and how they work together to complete the project and safety on schedule. And no matter like what you would think in the classroom, the experience is the most important part. And I am grateful for what Valcom gave me. And yeah, that's my presentation. Thank you.